Hi, hello, how is everyone? Amanda, your Seint artist, we know that. Okay, I'm gonna talk about Seint makeup. I am gonna talk to my girls who live on the East Coast and the South Coast. I'm talking to my girls in the heat. I'm talking about my girls in the humidity. Here in Oregon, big news, we might hit 90. Everything stops. There's a heat advisory telling everyone stay in if you can because it's going to be hot, because it's going to be 90, maybe. I know if you start going more east of Oregon, it's going to be in the hundreds, but it's just funny. To me, I lived in Louisiana for a few years, and I know what heat and humidity is. I know what hot is. 90 is not a heat advisory. Okay, but anyways, I'm going to get started here. I'm not here to talk about weather. I'm here to talk about cream-based makeup. Okay, so when you put on a cream-based makeup, if it goes on like butter, like it does, it's gonna melt like butter. So if you're living in the high heat, I'm gonna show you how to put on the makeup, because when you're in the heat and the humidity and you start getting warm and dewy, your makeup's gonna change. And that's with Seint makeup, that's with any makeup. It's gonna change, it's gonna move, it's gonna show things. I'm gonna show you how to put this makeup on lightly. I'm gonna go on a limb here. The blend brush is your summer brush because you want a light coverage. So blend brush, get it. All right, I'm gonna put this on nice and light, and I'm gonna be using a setting powder. Setting powder is key when you're dealing with heat and humidity. It sets the makeup, it absorbs the extra moisture, keeps it where it is. At the end of the video, I'm gonna show you how to tackle throughout the day, because the great thing about Seint makeup, throughout the day, once your makeup starts moving, that doesn't mean you go and grab a compact of makeup and start applying more. You don't have to apply more. That's the good thing about it. So stay with me till the end. I'm going to get started. Another important thing when you're doing Seint makeup with heat, a matte setting spray. I love our Seint setting spray. It's more dewy. Get a matte setting spray. Charlotte Tilbury is a great one. Urban Decay All Nighter, another really good one. So I recommend using those setting powders or setting sprays when you have the heat and humidity. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to go in with the small end. I'm going to go into my main highlight, my foundation color, and I'm going to put on a beard. That's the best way I can explain on placement for this. Your face is essentially, with Seint makeup, paint by number. So we're taking our main highlight and we're just going to go down the side of our face right where a beard would be. And I have a little discoloration, so I'm just going to pop it up on the apples here where I have some acne scarring and melasma. So it just neutralizes it down. So again, right over here on my beard, just bringing this up. I'm not bringing it up here onto my cheeks. I'm just handling a little bit of the apples where there's discoloration and the beard. So I'm bringing it down here under this chin and a little bit here and here. That's it. It's a very light coverage. All right, I'm going to take a little bit more, and I'm just going to kind of go from one arch to the next. Very, very light coverage. Not much needs to be put on here. And I want you to keep in mind where I'm placing this, because it is one layer of makeup. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead on the fluffy end, and I'm just giving this a blend. And so because I marked it up like this, I'm just taking this light fluffy end, and I'm just bringing this and moving everything where I need it, because I had applied it under the chin. I'm just blending those marks together to be one even tone. I'm just evening out my skin tone here. So again, a light touch. I'm not using the whole brush. Pressure is your enemy. It'll take makeup off rather than just blending and moving it. So we're almost treating this brush like a broom. We're just sweeping this around and evening it out. That's all that we're doing here. Okay, now that's it. That's all it is for my foundation. I'm going to sweep this around, and I'm just going to go do little circles, and that's it. That's it. There's nothing here, nothing up here, because everything in this palette is foundation, because it's all high pigmentation, it's all coverage. So I'm going to take that small end, and I'm going to go into my brightening color, and I'm going to go right here in between my brows, and I'm going to come down my nose here, and I'm going to get a tiny bit right here, a tiny bit here. You can see this because it's about 2 shades lighter than my natural skin tone. So there's not a lot of makeup, it's just a lighter tone. So I'm just going to take that fluffy end, and I'm going to use swirls, and I'm going to swirl this up here into that main highlight that I had. So I'm combining them, marrying them together, fluffing this down, really light coverage. I'm going to blend this over, marry it with that main highlight, and it gives you this natural brightness. That's what it does. I will be doing my under eyes. I like to do them last. All right, next I'm going to go into my contour. So again, very light, very fast. I'm going to go into my contour with the small end. I'm just pushing it in, putting a bit on the tips of the bristles. I'm going to find my cheekbone, and I'm going to come down, but I'm not going to come in past the outer corner of my eye. And I'm just going to put a shadow here. So I'm just pushing this and I'm putting a shadow here. Now you can see this, it looks like a big mark on my face. Don't worry, this is the color Indigo. It's one of our darker contours. I really like it, especially once I've got some color on my skin. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm just gonna put a mark right here on my cheekbone. You can over apply this and it'll still blend out nicely. You just blend a little bit more, but you wanna be able to see this. You don't wanna under apply it because then you'll put it on and you'll say, I don't really see my contour. That's because you under applied, and it's okay to over because it'll blend out. All right, I'm gonna take some more of my contour and I'm gonna contour my forehead because our face is not one-dimensional. It's not flat. It has dimension. We have natural shadowing. We're just applying the makeup in the same method rather than turning it all one color and then building the structure all over again. We're just gonna stick with what's already there and just enhance it. So I'm just adding contour here where I already have shadowing, and then it's gonna blend up along the hairline, like that, just like that. I'm gonna pinch it, and I'm gonna push into that indigo, and I am going to draw an 11 on my nose. I'm gonna go on the top, but not the tippy top. So it's not on the side, it's not on the very top, it's just right on that edge. And I'm just gonna draw a really light 11, just like that. I'm gonna take my finger, this is what I like to do, pop it right here, and it just kind of gives me a little bit of a nose job. It's the world's cheapest nose job. All right, I am going to push that brush into it again, and I'm gonna go in front of my earlobe and down my jawline, and it's not gonna be on my face, it's not gonna be under, because I won't see it here. It's gonna go right here, in front of the earlobe and down, like that. All this is doing is adding structure to my jaw. That's it. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna flip it to the fluffy end. I'm gonna start up here and I'm just gonna use little circles and a light touch. You don't need pressure. You just, because it's cream and they're all creams and they're all working together, they move and meld together and look so, like, look at that. It's just warmth, it's shadowing, it's natural looking. Isn't also nice, and it's foundation. All right, so I'm just gonna go here in front of that earlobe and I'm gonna circle this and I'm gonna blend it down and I'm gonna bring this up towards where my contour starts here. When people contour, they follow the number 3. Boom, boom. You don't need to draw a 3 on your face. You do blend to a 3 and then you have less product on your face. Same thing over here, little circles. I'm gonna blend on the jawline here. Boom, 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 bringing that up a bit. And that's it. That's how easy these blend. I don't make it look easy. It is easy. All right, so I'm actually gonna use the little end and I'm just gonna go up and down on that contour that I placed here, and I'm gonna bring it to the brow because our shadowing naturally goes there. And so all I'm doing is blending this, bringing it down a bit. Same over here, blending this up, 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 bringing it to the brow, down, 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 and then a little bit down here. Boom, taking care of the tip. Fluff, fluff, fluff. There we go, look at that. I'm gonna use my finger, I'm gonna put a little bit of my brightening on, and I am just gonna pop it here. And I'm gonna use my brush, and I'm just gonna kind of fluff it. There we go, that's it. Okay, let's get this guy right. Actually, I'm gonna do a special thing for you guys. Actually, it's not special, I've done it a lot of times. I'm gonna wait to blend this until I put on my bronzer. Okay, so I'm gonna use the small end. I'm gonna put some bronzer on, and I am going to put it where the sun kisses my face, right here and right here. Bella bronzer is very creamy, very pigmented, like everything, because it's your foundation. So a little goes a long way. Your tile of Bella bronzer will last you a year or more. That's the great thing about it, because you need so little. You use it most in the summer and very little in the winter. Take a little bit more and I'm going to hit. Now I have no makeup up here. I'm going to hit the high point of my cheek and I'm going to bring it down almost like it's my blush. Like it is my blush. Same thing over here, just like that. Now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to rub it in to my Tropicana right there. And I am going to put it right in front of that Bella bronzer right there. I really love this color. It's so pretty. Look at that. It's a gloss. So we're just going to be a little liberal with it because it is a little more sheer and it's a gloss. So there we go. All right. I'm going to blend this. I'm going to blend this all together and it's going to look good. Okay, I'm going to start up here. I'm going to use the fluffy end and I'm just going to blend that bronzer around and give me a summer glow. It's going to give me that warmth that the sun would give me hitting that high point. Look at that. I'm going to sweep that brightening and that main highlight into the color. I never sweep my darkness in. I sweep my lightness out. That's how I like to blend right there. All right, let's get started on this scary looking cheek. One layer of makeup, little product. This is a thin layer of makeup and I'm going to blend it out. So I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to start on my contour and I'm going to go up and down right here. I'm going to go into that bronzer, bring it up, and then I'm going to bring it and I'm going to kind of steeple into that Tropicana cheek. Just like that. Look at that. A nice thin layer of makeup. Same thing here. Start on that contour using circles, sweeping motions, bring it into that bronzer, bring it up, and I'm going to steeple onto my apple into that Tropicana, and that's it. All right, let's brighten under the eye. I'm going to take the little end here, I'm going to push into my brightening. Now I haven't cleaned this brush. That's how nice this makeup is. It doesn't pick up a bunch of product and change the colors. Tapping into my brightening, and I am going to very lightly, I'm going to tap a little bit here. I'm going to tap a little bit up here. I'm going to come down and bridge them together. That's it. Tapping a little bit here. Tapping a little up here. And bridging it together. I like to bridge together down on the orbital and then bring it up. Okay, so this looks scary, and now I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to lightly swirl and blend this together. Look at that. You see how nice this looks? Brightening under your eye. Oh, look at that. I mean, it lifts the eye, it brightens the eye. I look much more awake than I did at the beginning of the video. That's it. So light circles, very light touch, swirls, steepling, and you just work it in. Like that, light coverage. Okay, so you're in humidity, your makeup's on. Here's where I kind of assess and I see if I have any hormonal breakouts, if any of my redness is showing through. This is where I tackle the discoloration. I don't do it all at the beginning because then you can over apply makeup. Everybody over applies the first few times they put this makeup on. There's nothing you can do about it. Everybody does it. I walked out of my house like a wedding cake for like a week. It was ridiculous. But I stuck with it, I worked with it, and here I am. Very easy. Okay, so if you're in humidity, oh, I want to add some illuminator. Right here. This guy right here. This is the Glow Illuminator. It's a lot like the Bella bronzer, but with some shimmer. And I'm just going to lightly touch right up here, and it's just going to add a touch of sparkle without blasting you with powdery shimmer. Little on the tip. I'm going to put some right here on the tip of my Cupid's bow. That's it. I'm going to take a little bit of contour under my lip here, and I'm just going to blend this out, and what it's going to do is it's going to give the illusion of a shadow and make my lips look like they curl. All right, powders. I use the Coty Airspun. It's a loose powder. If you live in humidity, light coverage, the blend brush would be a good start, but if you have a blush and bronzer brush, this is also really good for light coverage as well. You put it on exactly the same, and you treat that brush just the way I was treating the blend brush. All right, so you don't have to go out and get a new brush. If you have this one, it's a good one. All right, if you have a good loose setting powder, that's best for humidity. placement is key. If you have mature skin, especially around your eyes, I have some fine lines around my eyes. You do not set a loose powder, or most powders, on the soft tissue of your eye. It'll accentuate and make them look crepey. It'll accentuate the fine lines. If you have large pores, avoid directly applying the loose powder to where the large pores are. Mine are right here, so I don't pack on a bunch of loose powder right here. So here's what I do. I use the Cotillard sponge, Walmart, Walgreens, it's $5, Amazon probably, it's like $5, but if Laura Mercier has a really good one, there's really good loose powder. So if you have one that you really like, use it. Seint has a pressed setting powder, really good, but for humidity's sake, I would say use a loose setting powder. Okay, so I'm gonna just take my little beauty blender pad guy, and I'm gonna press him into my setting powder. And I am going to kiss the orbital bone, and I'm gonna go into the areas where I'm oily. So I'm gonna set right here under my eye. I'm gonna set in the crease of my nose, because that's where I get really oily. Right here, I oil up really bad here, and then right here. Basically, it's my T-zone. So I'm just gonna put that loose setting powder right here. And now I'm baking. And all that means is I'm letting it sit on my face and letting all that moisture that's coming out with that makeup, it's absorbing that moisture and it's gonna hold that makeup on a little bit longer. That's my trick for humidity, loose setting powder, and baking. That's what I do. This you can get at Amazon. I really like that one, but I also sometimes use a beauty blender and those work great too. So I'm just gonna let this sit on my face, and I am going to use my palette. I'm gonna take some of that bronzer, and I'm gonna go around the edge of my lip with that bronzer, like that. It's almost like it's a lip liner, it's just thicker. Just like that. Just around the outside, like that. And then I'm gonna go into Tropicana, and I'm gonna hit that over it. Isn't that pretty? I didn't have to go get a new lipstick. It's all right here. That's nice. Your whole face right here. This is the palette 12. There's a second layer here. It fits 12 full size, 24 eyeshadows. You can split it up. So however you want. It's your palette. You make it however you want to make it. So now that this is sat on my face for a little bit, I'm going to take my blend brush, or you can use the fluffy end of this guy. Again, if you have the blush and bronzer brush, use it the exact same way I was using this. I'm going to take that fluffy end, and I'm just going to start dusting off that powder. But while I'm dusting it off, I'm also sweeping it to other areas to grab that moisture. I'm going to do the same thing here, where I'm dusting this, steepling it, and it's getting onto the soft tissue, but I didn't apply a bunch of powder there, so it's not adding a bunch of texture. Just like that. Right here. I'm going to do the same thing right here. Just fluffing it around, getting it onto the soft tissue, again, without applying it directly there. That's it. It makes a more matte finish. If you want to add a little more illuminator here, you absolutely can. The next thing you do is you take your matte setting spray and you spray your face. That's the trick. That's how you do a nice light coverage makeup that will last with the heat and humidity. Now, as the day goes on, now let's keep in mind this is makeup. It's not magic. I say that all the time. If you have texture on your skin, raised pimples, those kinds of things, if you have deep pores, it's makeup. It's not magic. It's not going to take texture away. It's balancing color, neutralizing tones. Keep that in mind. But as the day progresses with heat and humidity, there will always be movement with makeup because it's not magic. It's makeup. So around your nose, you might have movement. The best thing you can do is you can carry around a brush with you. I go to Amazon. I got this guy. I really like it. I think it was $8.99 on Amazon, but it's retractable. So it can be a dense brush. It can be a fluffy brush. But when your makeup is moving, you don't need to go and grab your palette and put more makeup on. All you need to do is I would take this brush, and I'll link this in the comments below. Take this brush, I would say on the medium setting, so it's fluffy, but it's dense. You push and you reset your makeup. press, 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 and you reset, because I get a line right here from my makeup when I get hot. So I just reset. If I'm laughing and having a good time, my fine lines might have some settling. I just take this brush and I reset it, reset it, reset it, reset, reset, reset. You don't need to apply more makeup. You just need to put it back where it belongs. I keep a palette too in my purse all the time. This is the one I got out of my purse. I keep a lip conditioner and a setting powder. This is the Vanilla Dust setting powder. It's a well-pressed, really fine setting powder that won't add a lot of texture, but it's great for touch-ups. So you can take this brush and you just press it in, rub it in. It's so well pressed, it doesn't add a whole bunch. And then you just go in to your areas and you set it with the powder. Put it on the fluffy end, give her a little fluffy poo. Go around on your cheeks and reset your blush. That's it. That's the trick. This right here, this brush and this palette will get you through the day. I promise you. So that is what I wanted to show you for my girls that have the heat and humidity, light application. And I swear, keeping a setting powder and a brush in your purse will get you through the day. You don't need to carry around all of your makeup, have a second set of makeup. You just need a setting powder in your purse and a brush. So I'll link this one in the comments. If you want to try the makeup, message me. I'll get you your own color match so you can have your own custom palette. Super, super easy. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. All right. Have a good day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you guys later.